Okay, my last parking adventures video. This is also my strongest team by far. This team deals minimum double the amount of HP there is at level 200, as you'll see now from this gameplay. We are using Super Tandem, Nami, and a bunch of damage dealers. Sabo and Luffy Zoro Sanji are literally just there for damage. Like, they have zero utility purpose. Of course, besides the Frenosuke support on Luffy Zoro Sanji, who is a arena character. If you go to the Recollection Archive, he's one of the bottom characters, but he's a great support for reducing attack down. We get 12 turns in the final stage. 10 of those turns are reduced from the friend captain of Yamato and Otama, and then the last 2 turns with Frenosuke. Support of Alvida and Moji on Cross Guild, very helpful but not necessary. I'll explain later what to do if you don't have a unit. And then also Perispero, who is very much needed. He's a free-to-play character. I think he's also a treasure map unit, so you can find him in the treasure map ticket shop. Vivi and Rebecca. One thing I forgot to do is add the support of Chopper. Actually, I think I have some filter here. Chopper is just going to give you a 1.5x color affinity boost, which may seem weak, but that boosts our damage from it boosts our damage from like 45 billion to like 70 billion, so very helpful. Hoship for healing, it allows us to make sure that we get the 50k overheal to get the utility from Yamato and Otama. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Cross Guild is, I think, the absolute goat of this content. Very helpful character. And then we also utilize and abuse Nami's ability to use a special twice in the quest. So we'll see how that works later on, but be very careful. Don't skip through the video because stage 1 and 2 is very important in setting you up for getting the most damage possible. So I'll meet you guys there. Of course, my Nami is Super Tandem level 2 only, so if you don't have a high level Super Tandem Nami, then this team will still work. Of course, use a Yamato and Otama friend captain. You don't need to have one that's maxed or level 105. It can be 99. The damage will be very similar. I think that's about it. Level 1 Super Tandem boost on Luffy Zoro Sanji. That's what I have. Nothing requires dupes. No level no break. Let's get straight into the content. Okay, so stage 1. As you can see, we get a full board of recovery orbs from Yamato and Otama. Now, these orbs are basically gold for us because on stage 3, Yamato converts all of our recovery orbs into Wano. So, if you want Wano orbs, we have to save these recovery orbs. And we need those Wano orbs because Yamato and Otama is going to be so much more strong on the final stage if they have a Wano orb. And then also, having 2 Wano orbs is very important for stage 3. Since we're not removing the enemy's barrier, they have a 2 Wano orb barrier. So we essentially need to save 3 Wano orbs here. 2 for the barrier and 1 for Yamato and Otama. Now, as you can see, we have Vivi and Rebecca 6+ here. Their swap effect changes the adjacent slots. So if you try and save the recovery orbs on the adjacent characters, it will get swapped out from the swap effect of the Vivi and Rebecca. So you want to make sure that the recovery orbs you are saving are not going to get swapped out. And that's why I recommend doing exactly what I do. This is the first turn here. You can just use up 2 recovery orbs and then the third character gets wasted, unfortunately. Do exactly that. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Sabo, and Nami. The other 3 orbs can be saved. Now, beyond this point, whenever you're attacking, don't attack on the recovery orb units. You can now start swapping with Vivi and Rebecca, getting this super swap ready so you can remove, or not remove anything. You're going to give yourself a 1.5x chain multiplicative buff for the final stage with the super swap ability. So we are just going to gradually get that charged up, ready for the final stage. At this point you can stall. We are stalling for Cross Guild. Since Cross Guild is a unit that we're going to use his special 3 times throughout this quest, we need him to get ready ASAP so we can start using his special. First time we use Cross Guild is actually on stage 2. That's just to prime him for the second time we activate his special. The first time we activate Cross Guild, he just gives the enemy set target status, which we don't really care about because it's for Slasher and Driven. Yamato and Otama does not get that buff. But the second time you use cross guild, very important, because he removes the enemy's threshold and gives you an orb boost. This is very helpful for the third stage where there is threshold, and of course the orb boost is nice to give you just more damage, because why not? Stage 3, Vivi and Rebecca is also very important because they have hunger resistance. If you don't have that, you're probably going to mess something up and you ruin the run. Now at this point, make sure you kill off the penguins, especially the green ones. I think the green ones are the only ones that rewind your specials. So just kill off them with your units that I said you can use to attack. And then the next turn, since the penguins are not going to attack, they want to rewind our specials, you can now kill off the background penguins and leave Bonnie alive. Now the next turn, your cross guild will be ready. And we can use his special for the first time. He will then rewind his own special up to like 3 turns remaining. And that will allow us to have him ready again by the third stage. As you can see, the Alvida support gives you an extra turn of cooldown. If you don't have the Alvida support, expansion, limit break expansion on cross guild will work. If you don't have cross guild expanded, please don't go and expand him just because I said that. Just stall 1 extra turn and he'll be ready for the third stage. But I'm going to kill him off. I'll kill Bonnie off, should I say. I'm also going to use that recovery orb on cross guild because we are trying to get more healing. And Alvida locks our recovery orb on cross guild. As you can see, our orbs were now converted into Wano. Now be very careful here. You can swap your Vivi and Rebecca because why the fuck not? Use your cross guild here for an orb boost, removing the enemy's threshold. And now first attack on cross guild. Cross guild doesn't have any boost from the captains. So attacking with Vivi and Rebecca second is very important if you want to make sure stage 3 is a safe kill. Because if you attack with the Vivi and Rebecca first, they will deal 0 damage. But either way, the kill is very easy there, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just make sure you don't use the orb on Yamato and Otama. Now stage 4, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening here. We're going to use Nami special here. Then we're going to use those paralysis orbs to our advantage. So first use Nami, that's going to get rid of the enemy's damage reduction, give us some buffs. But what's very important here is one, that Paris support, because we are going to be using Otama and Yamato to kill the enemy here. So we need that support to have our slots locked. Second of all, those 3 paralysis orbs, you can't see Luffy's or Sanji's because of the flippin' layout that I need to remake. But the entire right column, right? They have paralysis orbs. When you tap on one of their characters, they will get 4 turns of paralysis. With 3 characters, that's 12 turns of paralysis. If you see Nami's cooldown, it's 12 turns of cooldown remaining. Now if we take a look at Nami's captain ability. If crew is inflicted with paralysis, completely removes the paralysis duration and reduces character, which is referring to Nami herself, a special charge time by the number of turns reduced. The 12 turns of paralysis gets converted into 12 turns of cooldown for Nami. Very important, you need to attack or tap at least on your entire right column before killing with your Yamato and Otama. You can also use the Hosha because why not? Our healing should... Yeah, we've already way past the overheal of 50k, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. But if you're really concerned about it being safe, then Hosha will give you even more healing, so why not? And also an orb boost, which I don't think is necessary. The damage is very safe regardless. But now I'm going to attack with my entire right column. They get their paralysis removed from them instantaneously. And Nami is ready again. You can use the special twice. Very, very helpful and important. Not only because Nami will give us a chain boost and a base attack boost, but she will also inflict the enemy with paralysis, which will proc her conditional boost, which gives us an extra 2.25x damage. Now at this point, final stage, use Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. As long as you use them before Vivi and Rebecca, then it's good, because they both give attack and orb boosts, but Luffy's or Sanji's is of course much stronger. You can hit excellent if you want the highest damage possible. I just want to show you guys what this team is capable of, so I'm doing everything to the max. Renosuke they're activating. Cross guild because why not? Chain boundary. Luffy, Sabo for a 3 times advantageous class effect buff. This will make the effect that states that striker units deal 2 extra damage just because the enemy is weak to them. It essentially makes that 3 times stronger. So as you can see above Hancock's head, this is just like a state that the enemy has. It depends on the content. Boa Hancock just straight up has 2 extra damage from striker units. Yamato and Otama is a striker unit, so they deal double damage just for free. Sabo basically multiplies that by 3x, so very helpful for damage. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, besides giving the attack and all boost, also put a Psi territory on the field. Then Sabo put a Cerebral territory on the field. This is so good for damage, guys. Very, very good. Then you can use Nami's super class as well as special. This will give you a conditional attack boost, a chain additive buff, and a base attack boost. Wait a second, I'm gonna reset because I think you should actually use Yamato and Otama first. And the only reason I say that, also I restarted my game, is because Yamato and Otama gives a way better base attack boost of 1750. Nami's is 1200. It really matters. So we first use Yamato's super class. That'll give the enemy increased damage taken. A special will increase the effect of the enemy's increased damage taken to 2.25x. And give us striker super class. Then use Nami. Give yourself a tandem orb, very helpful for damage. For the super tandem, Although it's not really necessary since Sabo's X Super does that anyways. Now since we used 8 specials, Sabo's X Super will be ready. Very important because it gives us Cerebral characters super class. That makes it so that our Yamato and Otama has super class for both of the classes. This will also give us matching orbs for Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, as well as Sabo themselves. And also multiply our base attack boost from Yamato and Otama, getting it up to 2600. Very, very cool. Finally, we use the super swap of Vivi and Rebecca. This will give us a chain multiplicative buff of 1.5x. And then the special actually does nothing on this team. You might be thinking that's poor team design, but let me tell you how important Vivi and Rebecca is on this team, guys. Of course, proccing Chopper support for a 1.5x color affinity, very good for damage. But Vivi and Rebecca, 1, they have hunger resistance with their potential ability. 2, they give a chain multiplicative buff with a super swap. 3, they are a striker unit, so they allow us to use the super tandem of Nami. And then 4, they are the second waifu character, so they proc the super class of Yamato and Otama. Trust me, there's literally no other character in this game that fulfills those criteria. And actually still gives you a damage increase with chain multiplicative buff. Very important unit, even though they might seem like they are redundant. Now at this point, it's very important that you attack with all of your units that proc the super tandem at once. So first start off with cross guild since they deal absolutely 0 damage, then with Sabo, then with Vivi and Rebecca, then Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, super tandem Nami, and then finally Otama and Yamato will deal billions upon billions. So let's see how it goes. You might be seeing that, oh, it's a very low amount of damage. But trust me, look at this, Otama and Yamato. These guys are going to deal insane damage. Super tandem boost as well. Cool animation, bro. Please, can I actually hit this perfect? If I hit, I miss. $94 billion, guys. 99 billion. We win, guys. I'm sure you guys won't mind if I say 100 billion damage in the title. That's even better than I expected, bro. That's really good damage. Of course, if you have your super tandem or super tandem boosts at high levels, more damage. You can probably get to level 100, 250. Yes, the Heim turtle. Please, do it. 0 fucking do. I hate this flipping game. Anyways, level 99 Yamato and Otama. Super tandem of last step of level 1, I'm pretty sure. pretty happy with this. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about the team, there's no replacements. Trust me, guys, there's no replacements. Maybe for the supports, but no, not for the units themselves. Maybe for Vivi and Rebecca. So if you miss them, ask me in the comments. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.